Morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Hope your Friday is going good. I'm going to jiggle the camera just a little. Oop, that was a lot. Just to get myself a little bit straight. I don't know. You know, it's a work in progress. Let's see. Okay. You can pretty much see everything. Alrighty, let's give the computer just a second to get caught up, and while the computer is catching up with me, does anybody remember this Dreamer paper pack that just went, that just is done? It just finished the end of this month. I had this piece that was, 12 by 12, and I cut it down to 6 by 6. I don't know about you, but I have some papers, some patterns in papers that are so pretty you don't want to cut them up. Can anybody relate? And this was one of them for me. It's like, oh, I don't want to use that. And I'm like, these papers are so gorgeous, they should be used instead of just stuck in a paper pack somewhere in a closet and nobody gets to see them. So I cut these down to 6 by 6, and I'm going to show you one piece of 6 by 6 that you can then make 2 cards with. And the focus is the 6 by 6 sheet of paper. So those really pretty papers. Okay. And let's see if my computer has caught up. It should have by now. We are live. There we go. And there I am. Okay. Good. And we're kind of crooked still. Let's see if we can't get this a little bit more straight. Okay. How about like that? How's your day going? There we go. That's a little better. You put your phone in the holder, you think it's straight, and you come on live and you figure out you're not straight at all. So let's move this up just a little bit. All right. And I kind of wanted to be a little bit further away so you could see what I am doing today. So I've got my pretty paper. I've cut it up 6 by 6. Yes, I kind of went, oh, but just do it, okay? And I'm also going to show you a new stamp set that I'm using for the words, which is this one right here, Z4757. It's the Perched Buddies. I had to have it for this thin cut. Isn't that gorgeous? Wait till you see my tree ladies that are coming to open house. And I pulled this one out for the words, okay? So, there's that. And you can see Happy Birthday up here, which I also pulled from this set here, which is just too funny. It's D2180. Why am I sending this? Happy birthday. Yeah, okay. Remember, you can be anything you want to be except younger. Ain't that the truth? You're my person. I love this one. Why am I sending this? Why am I sending you this card? I knew a minute ago. Anybody relate to that? Anyway, funny stamp set. Okay. So I have this one, hello there, and the happy birthday that I've already put onto here. We'll get back to that in a minute. I'm using Lagoon ink to make everything all crooked again, which, if you want the number, is Z2895, with everything retiring. I don't know if this is going to be one that's going to be hanging around, so if you can order it and you want it, order it now. Don't forget the re-inker and paper. Okay. So, what I want to do now is pick out one of these pretties, and I think I will do, I don't know, this one. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, right? Okay. As always, thank you so much for shopping with me. That's how I stay available to you and keep going. Now I'm going to bring in my big, huge paper trimmer that is not close to my heart because my little one needs blades. It's much easier to use, but Alright, so this is a 6 by 6, and we are going to make a couple of cuts as soon as I find my paper that I wrote my instructions on. And this is thank you to Jackie. Her last name is Bolhuis. I'm not even going to try and say that. So we've got our 6 by 6. First thing we're going to do is cut off 2 inches. So you need to, so it's going to be at 4. That's not very level, so let's just do a little bit of this. Sorry. Okay. So we need 2 inches, which leaves us 4 inches. So I just kind of look at, okay, that's pretty, but not going to leave a whole lot on the other one. So I'm going to rotate it. That's pretty plain. So we're just going and seeing what we like. That's not bad. I'm looking at this piece that's going to be on card number 2 and this piece that's going to be on card number 1. And yes, I know I've rotated it every way I can now. I think I'm going to do it this way. Again, I'm looking at this 2-piece strip and then this strip over here. And make sure that we're doing it right. Yes, cut off 2 inches. Boom. There's our 2 inches. Here's our 4 inches. Off of this piece, which I obviously want all that color, I'm going to cut here. I'm going to cut this down to 5.5. So there's 1 piece of scrap. This is our piece that's ready to go. This one here is going to get cut to 5 inches and 3 3/4. So I'll cut the 5 off first. There's another piece of scrap, and then 3 3/4. I kind of like all this happening, so I'm going to take it off of here, which also gives me my last scrap. So there you go. Card number 1, card number 2, and your scraps. Not to say that you can't use these. I could maybe stamp on this one, which might be pretty. So I might do that. I might stamp on this one, for maybe this one. You like how I say that? And you could also put this inside. So maybe we'll put this inside of that one. Alright, we can get rid of our paper trimmer. You don't need to watch me trim anything else. They're just standard sizes. Bring this back in to stamp on. Sorry about that. Okay. So we have piece number 1, number 2, and our scraps. Now, maybe you have a word that will fit on there, and then you could use that as well. Alright? So, I've got 2 card bases with black cardstock that I already cut, just the size of the card. Okay? And basically, we just need to layer that. See, this could easily be on the inside, would be really pretty. But this needs something else. And I think I'm going to do white. So again, this was, make sure I'm staying on camera. This is 3 3/4 by 5. So I need a piece of white. So I'm going to just go off camera and cut a piece of white to be 1/8 of an inch bigger. So 3 3/4 plus 1/8, and then 5, and then 1/8. So, as you can see, it is a very minimal piece of white, but it makes our pretty paper pop. Okay, so there we go. And this one, we're going to do the same thing. So this is 2 by 5.5. So we just need a piece that's 2 1/8 by 5.5, because that's the top of our card. Again, it's just a tiny sliver on either side, and then on there. Okay? So, how quick and easy was that? Now, I stamped this happy birthday, and what I'm going to do is just trim it out right along that edge. And you'll notice that I've left it long. That's for a reason. So I'm just going to trim this off. See what I'm doing. Okay. 1 So now I've got this piece, and this is just over 3/4 of an inch. So I want just a little piece of black that is just 1/8 bigger. I'm just looking for a little scrap piece. I don't need very much. So 3/4 and do 1/8 more. I'm gonna get this piece, which hopefully will fit. Oh, look at that. I cut them the exact same size. Let's trim this one down just a little bit more if we can. Oh, that always makes me nervous. How about you guys? And it's hard to cut a little tiny piece off. Okay. There we go. Good enough. So the reason why I left it on here is so that way I can do this and cut it off, okay? Or you can do it all the way across here. And I was thinking, since I already have 2 cards made, maybe I would turn these this way and do something a little different, which then we wouldn't even need. We could just put it up there. That'd be kind of cute, like that, because this is our focus, remember? I don't think it would look good like that, but we could do it. Put a pin here and cut it off there. See, so there's all kinds of options we can do with that. And then I have a little piece of white, which I think I'm going to cut this down. So here's a good way to do this. This is, it fits right in 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to trim this down just a smidge to just barely over 3/4, because I don't need very much. I hope we don't mess up like last time. Here we go. Alright, so let's stamp this. And I think I'm going to stamp it in Lagoon. And I always have my little scratch paper over here. This is one I haven't used that much yet, so I want to test it. And then I always tell you to pull it off onto a darker surface so you can see what you're doing. Leave it time to transfer because those letters are solid. Now I could even cut this out, and in fact I had a shape. That stamp set actually has a thin cut, but you know, we're just winging it now. So I'll just quickly trim that out with just a tiniest bit of edge. Pretty easy, it's just a straight cut. I'm going to go back up the other way and make a straight as I can cut. And then follow the pennant. And I like to turn it over, but you can't see it, so I'll have to do it this way. This way always gets a little crooked. I don't know why. Okay, so we got that. And then we can put it onto here. Cut that little pennant when we're done. And that can go, bring this back into focus. That can go onto here. Alright, so let's glue some stuff down. Pull on my chair. So, your words can be anything. Your words could be on a circle. They could be on a stitched little square. They could be any words, any size, any shape. Okay, so let's see what we got. Some little pieces and some glue. I like the Tombow Air. It's much better than the last Tombow we had. This one doesn't give you that little, you don't have to flick it. This one doesn't give you the strings. It's just super easy to use. We're going to put this base down. Trying not to get my head in the way. And then we're going to layer this piece down. Ooh, see, that's pretty too. But I could use that. I would cut this piece up. But this piece was extremely hard. Now, again, how I do this is, and even on the black is helpful, is I look at these two corners and this corner. If I get the three of them pretty even, and I don't put it down super hard, then I know the last one is good, okay? And then we'll put this on to here. And there again, I like to use my grid paper. If you want some, let me know. It is available to consultants. Used to be available to everyone. And now I have to order it a little differently. Alright, line that one up. And then, hello there. Oh, here's the piece I told you about. You could easily take a little bit of this glue. Liquid glue is your friend, and I like to set it on there. Okay, I'm going to put a dot there so I know where to end it, and just add the rest. If I can line it up on a card like an edge, I'll put the adhesive onto the card stock rather than the piece. And I'm just lining this up so that way I can kind of line that up. And I've got that little piece, and I like to turn it over so I can see where my edge is. If you do it from the front, sometimes you don't get that nice clear piece. So there's a little something inside, and you can add some more to it. Make sure that you put your lid on your glue before you go too much further. And we could put this onto here, or we could put it onto black. I kind of like it on the black since it's so big here. And I'm going to turn this card. Make sure I've got the flat. No, I can't. I can't do that because I put this in there. Okay. So I wanted to. We'll do it on this one, and we'll put this one here. Let's see. I'm just figuring out where I want what. All right. I'm going to put this one down. Make sure I'm staying on camera. Okay, put that there. And then what you can do is leave a little bit extra in case you mess up. So I'm going to cut this kind of big, because I can always go back and trim it off a little bit more if I need to. And just this edge is a little wonky. Okay, so isn't that pretty? Okay, I'm going to put that right there. I like that. You could, you know, put it wherever you want. Again, I'm going to line up and line up. And put that right there. Isn't that pretty? All right, next we have this one. Let's glue this piece together. Remember that this is just a tiniest bit, so on this one, since it's not going to have any edge top and bottom, I put it on the bottom because then I can see the two edges. And it is just ever so slightly. See that? Ever so slightly. Hopefully you can see that. Maybe not. Let's hold it up a little bit and see if you can see it. And you could make it a little bit bigger if you wanted. Hopefully you can see that little bit of an edge. It just gives you a little tiny bit of an edge. Okay, let's put this piece down. Let's see. And do I want to, so here's the point where you can just kind of, do I want to leave a little bit more of a white edge? I think I will. So I'm going to take a 1/4 inch off of each side of this. Be right back. So that's 4 by 5 1/4. It's never really done till it's glued down, okay? Okay, let's put that down. I have to get my corners. And then some extra in the middle. Again, to use our grid paper, we know it's 1/4 of an inch. So if we put that there, the point is 1/4 or thereabouts. Just a little bit more. Just kind of helps me to stay straight. There we go. Now let's put this piece on. And you can put more if you want. I love this. See, I got a little glue on there. I always tell people don't glue on your pieces, and that's why. Ooh, and I could do this like this if I wanted. See, it's not done yet. So I'm just kind of figuring out where I want stuff. And I think I'm going to put this at about 3/4 of an inch up. So I'm just measuring here and here, this line. That keeps everything straight. Let's see if I've got enough. Make sure I stay on camera. This is really thin, but it matches that one. But is this extra little scrap big enough? I think it is. So I am going to glue it here and pin it there. So I could just make sure I get everything there. Again, let's try to line it up. Get it as even as we can. We've got 1 inch to work with. So we'll go there. Again, I'm going to turn it over to take this piece off. And this piece, because that doesn't do us any good. Okay. And let's see. Do we want a really big? Why not? Usually your pennants are, whatever size it is, you want to make them like this piece. This piece versus this piece would be a little bit different. This piece you can go a little bit deeper on, and this is how I do it when it's just cardstock. I cut that side. Oh, I don't know why I'm so jiggly. Not having breakfast will do that to you. And then I turn it over and cut that side. But this one is so much tinier, you want to take just a tiny bit. And sometimes I'll do that first one and then I'll turn my scissors and go straight off that way. So you can see that they look better to keep it to the size, thickness that it is. If it's wider, you can go up higher. If it's narrower, you want to stay closer, less of a pendant. But there's always rules, you know, exceptions. This is just a little bit too big, so I'm going to take about 1/8 to 1/4 off of this piece. Really got to get a trimmer blade on the other one. Okay, I took 1/4 of an inch off of this piece, so I have about 1/2 inch, so I can go up a little further. And you can always cut it again if you need a little bit more. Again, you've already got the first point, so you're just matching it. That just keeps me a little straighter. All right. And now this can go wherever you would like it to go. Remember, the paper is our focus. Not that you couldn't add a little something to it. It's your piece of paper. You do what you want to do. I think I'm going to do this one this way. It's just the pattern and stuff. It's just what I like. And I see that this point is not quite a point. So I'm going to turn that over and just take a sliver off. And that'll just give me that nice sharp point. Oh, this side too. Sometimes you gotta doctor it up. Fix it. Okay, there we go. That looks better. So now we can add again, line it up. Nothing worse than getting everything on there and something's crooked, unless you want it to be crooked. So again, I'm just using this nice dark line to line it up. Okay, now, at this point, like I said, it's up to you what you want to add. I thought this looked a little bit like gold, so I pulled out my shimmer gems in gold and my piercing tool so I can scoop that lost one up. And then I like to do triangles, kind of lead your eye across. So I'm going to do one there. And I've got two different sizes, so I'm going to do another one maybe here, so that looks interesting. And then another one, so I'm going to make a visual triangle with this. And I think I want to put it, that's really a triangle, true triangle. It can be a narrow cattywampus triangle, it could be whatever kind of triangle you want. Let's put that one there. So see, we've got our triangle. It kind of just leads your eye across, and so does the paper. Alright, and next, so basically all we've ended up with is this little piece of trash, or extra, or another banner. And then we need some triangle going on here, but see how this kind of leads your eye through? So I don't want to mess with that too much. Maybe put one down here. And one maybe up here. So we need, oops, hey, we had that happen. We need kind of a triangle, like that one there. And then vary your sizes if you can. Let's see, maybe right here. So see, now I'm making a little triangle, but that kind of adds to how that follows across the page. All these little tips just help you get better and better. Think of odd numbers like nature. And I will show you the first two cards I came up with, which are similar but a little bit different. So these are 3 and 4. Clean up a little bit. Like I said, that's the only little piece of something that we have. And card number 1. Make sure I'm on camera. Card number 1 is this one. Again, we've got our triangle. And card number 2. And, you know, it's a little bit different with my triangle. I added that other piece, this piece here. I just added it there and put another piece of white. So it's all just what you want to do. Give it a try. Go find those 6x6 flower ones and pretty papers. And I'd love to see what you come up with. Hi, Linda. Hi, Nancy. Ta-ta for now. See you soon. Bye-bye.